Welcome back to the inner sanctum of the truth, to anything you want. You have entered the only digital observatory where we refuse to simply consume the noise, instead, we dissect the signal. We are the archivists of the unseen, the cartographers of the celebrity soul. Today, the tectonic plates of the Turkish entertainment industry have shifted, triggered not by a scandal of infidelity or a business failure, but by a sentence so visceral, so intentionally destructive, that it has stopped the timeline in its tracks. We are turning our gaze toward a couple that has long been the definition of grace under pressure, Gökberk Demirci and Özge Yağız. For months, they have navigated the choppy waters of fame with a quiet dignity. But yesterday, the silence was shattered by a voice from the shadows, a well-known figure, a producer and stylist embedded deep within their professional circle, who issued a declaration of war. I will not allow Gökberk and Özge to be happy. This is not gossip, this is a threat. Before we unravel the psychology behind this attack and the couple's stoic response, ensure your place in our community is secure. Smash that subscribe button, ring the bell to stay ahead of the narrative, and if you truly value this caliber of deep dive journalism, I urge you to click the join button. Your support empowers us to ask the hard questions. Now, let us analyze the anatomy of this sabotage. The epicenter of this current media earthquake is a sentence that is terrifying in its brevity. I will not allow Gökberk and Özge to be happy. These words did not come from an anonymous troll or a faceless bot farm. They reportedly emerged from the lips of a respected industry professional, a stylist and producer who has been a fixture on Gökberk Demirci's sets. The statement ricocheted between editorial offices and WhatsApp groups with the speed of a forest fire, transforming from a whisper into a roar in a matter of hours. What makes this statement so chilling is its agency. It implies control. It suggests that this individual believes they possess the power to dismantle the emotional lives of two human beings. It thrusts the couple instantly into the eye of the storm, sparking a debate that transcends mere fandom. It is a violation of the unspoken social contract that separates the professional from the personal. The shock was immediate and universal. For a figure close to the circles that matter to speak with such unfiltered malice pierces the background noise of the industry, signaling that the stakes have been raised from mere gossip to active interference. To understand why this threat feels so violent, one must appreciate the context of the target. Gökberk Demirci and Özge Yağız share a history that is etched into the hearts of millions. Their journey is not just one of co-stars, but of a rare and potent alchemy. Their complicity, both on and off the set, has always possessed a texture that captivates the audience, an ability to transform a scripted scene into a moment of genuine human connection. Every close-up, every silence shared between them, and every fleeting glance has been interpreted and cherished by a fanbase that sees them as the gold standard of partnership. They have built a balance step by step, withstanding the crushing pressure of public scrutiny without ever slipping into caricature. This is precisely why the outside intervention weighs so heavily. It is an assault on a sanctuary. When a third party steps in to say, "I won't allow it," the air becomes electric because it challenges the very idea that love belongs to the lovers. It poses a terrifying question: can an outsider, driven by bitterness, truly derail a destiny? I must pause here and turn this inquiry over to you, the guardians of the Anything You Want community. Do you believe that an outsider has the power to destroy a relationship, or does such an attack only strengthen the bond between two people? Is this statement a sign of power, or a cry of weakness? Pour your theories into the comments section below. We read everything. As the shockwaves spread, the inevitable question arises: why? What drives a professional to burn bridges so spectacularly? Details emerging from the shadows of the industry paint a tragic portrait of long-simmering resentment. Those who know the designer at the center of this scandal speak of an old feeling, a sentiment that has settled like dust over years of collaborations, business dinners, and chance encounters on the fringes of crowded events. This was not a sudden explosion, but a slow leak. It is the result of words held back, answers left unsaid, and phone calls ended too quickly. It is the classic narrative of unrequited or unrecognized emotion fermenting into toxicity. The decision to speak out reportedly came after a long series of internal refusals, until the brakes finally snapped. It is an act that many in the industry are calling irreparable. By exposing a desire to hinder the happiness of others, this individual has revealed a harshness that has surprised even the most disillusioned veterans of the tabloid wars. It is a reminder that in the world of fame, the most dangerous enemies are often the ones standing just outside the frame, holding the wardrobe. In the face of this cacophony, Gökberk Demirci and Özge Yağız have chosen the most powerful weapon in their arsenal: silence. There has been no press release, no reactionary Instagram story, no official denial. Yet, behind the scenes, the atmosphere is one of disciplined calm. Sources with access to the corridors closest to their entourage describe a couple trying to navigate the moment with surgical precision. They are avoiding the trap of fueling the storm. There is a determined defense of their private space, a refusal to turn an attack into a spectacle. Gökberk, according to well-informed sources, was taken aback. He confided to a few close friends that he felt worn down by a noise that had nothing to do with his craft. In his work, he can control the outcome through commitment and talent, but when the storm is emotional and irrational, the path to healing is never linear. Özge, for her part, has reportedly chosen a path of supreme focus. Those close to her say she has mentally cancelled the comments, dedicating herself to her rehearsals with the concentration of someone who knows that every additional word uttered risks becoming another headline. It is a game without rules, and they know that the winner is the one who refuses to get carried away by the current. Meanwhile, the industry itself is in a state of turmoil. A fierce debate has erupted in the talk shows and production offices of Istanbul. Producers, casting directors, and PR agents are all weighing in, and the consensus is that this statement has fundamentally changed the direction of the conversation. Until yesterday, the discussion was about chemistry and projects. Today, it is about the ethics of interference. For some, this outburst is merely the tip of the iceberg, a symptom of the blurry lines between professional and personal lives on set. For others, it is a desperate attempt by a fading figure to draw a spotlight that refuses to linger on them. But the danger remains. Some producers, speaking anonymously, admit that these offset dynamics inevitably influence negotiations. There is a fear that the publicity surrounding this story could place undue pressure on the couple's future professional decisions. However, there is a counter-narrative. Stars who weather such storms with grace often emerge with a tailwind, their public support solidified by the unfairness of the attack. We are witnessing a masterclass in stoicism from Gökberk and Özge. If you respect their decision to maintain their dignity in the face of provocation, please hit the like button right now. It sends a message that we value class over chaos. And remember, by clicking the join button, you help Anything You Want continue to produce these high-quality, independent analyses. Your support is our shield. On social media, the story has doubled, tripled, and quadrupled in size. The phrase "I won't let Gökberk and Özge be happy" has been decontextualized and reassembled into a banner for everything that is wrong with celebrity culture. Gökberk's fans are outraged, describing the statement as a gratuitous attack on his personal balance. Özge's community is in a state of incredulous surprise, asking, why now? Why so blatantly? The contrast is striking. The couple has never played the provocative card, preferring to protect their path with discretion. This makes the loud, aggressive nature of the attack even more jarring. Videos of old interviews are being dissected for clues, photos are being reread with new, imaginary subtitles. Some users urge calm, noting there is no confirmation of a breakup, while others see strategic silences as evidence of a brewing crisis. But the truth, as we often remind you, is usually simpler than the conspiracy theories. It is just one sentence too many, and two people trying desperately not to let it become the center of their lives. The question echoing through the tabloid newsrooms is singular: will they break their silence? The team surrounding the couple is reportedly evaluating different scenarios. Some advisors suggest a brief, written statement to close the chapter. Others recommend letting the wound fester until the echoes of the phrase die down naturally, banking on the short attention span of the news cycle. There is talk of projects in progress, of sets that require absolute presence. Professional life goes on, and perhaps that is the ultimate rebuttal. The most likely outcome is that this story will remain at the center of conversation for days to come. Every new photo, every like, every appearance will be interpreted as a signal. But the essence remains unchanged. A public wound has been opened. It will be up to time, and the resilience of Gökberk and Özge, to transform it into a scar that fades, rather than a wound that defines them. As we watch the concentric circles of this scandal widen, we are reminded that fame is a double-edged sword. It brings adoration, but it also attracts those who wish to possess or destroy what they cannot have. The story of their original connection. The days when the intertwining of script and reality seemed the most natural thing in the world, is being retold now with a tinge of melancholy. It is claimed that their harmony is at the root of the irritation. Not a platitude, but a story of feelings denied until explosion. We will be here, watching every move, decoding every silence, and standing guard over the truth. Thank you for tuning in to Anything You Want. If this analysis resonated with you, share it. Subscribe for the updates that are surely coming. And please, consider hitting that join button to become a patron of independent storytelling. Until next time, remember, the loudest threats often come from the emptiest rooms.